Hey there guys, welcome to another set review. So today I'm going to be going over the contract set. Now this is probably the worst, well the second worst set, though 9 Nights doesn't really count so much, but even though it's not great, it still has a huge number of amazing cards and introduces some really important mechanics that are very relevant in the current metagame. So let's get started. And here we have Rock Vice, the Stone Sprite, with 3/0 base minion with boost red. So boosting is the new mechanic that they introduced here, and when you boost a minion, basically it takes up a movement, and what you do is you take your minion and you take a base minion and you combine it with a field minion, so it leaves your mana, and you add the BP of the base minion to the BP of the minion on the field. So that makes one minion. They're combined. And usually there are various effects that are granted when something boosts something else or when something is boosted. That's the motivation behind why you'd want to do that. And when your minion that is boosted dies, the mana goes back to the or moves into mana. The mana goes back to the base, though I believe it goes untapped. So that's boosting, and it's a hugely powerful mechanic. Even purely off the BP alone, it can be enough to allow you to make these hugely dominating minions that are very, very difficult to deal with for certain decks. So yeah, let's get started. So obviously this is the basic one. This is sort of what every class is going to get, and this is your baseline. This is pretty good. Adding 300 BP to stuff that's like 600, like 500, 600 BP makes them very big very quickly, which can make them very threatening. So this is a good card, and it is searchable with Mappy who I'm not sure if Mappy Rat's in this set. I think it is. And we've got boost red, and it's got to be a 4 cost or higher, and you grant the boost ability when attacking. Whenever this minion's attacks are blocked, deal 200 BP to the minion who blocked the attack. So I don't think this is that good, though it does have 1 DP, and I assume the DP also adds. So adding 1 DP is quite nice. The issue I see with this is needing to boost a 4 or higher. Typically red is spamming lots of very cheap minions, 2 costs, 3 costs, 1 costs. So I see that being a bit of an issue in terms of synergy with this card. So I don't think it's that good. And also only dealing 200 BP, usually for that to matter, you're going to be dealing with something that's pretty weak anyway, and you probably will be bashing over it. The only way I can see this being useful is you swing something tiny in. Well, although you're wasting a boost on it, you're wasting a movement on it, and then you can like fire rain the card, but overall it just doesn't seem worth it. 1 drop when summoned, 1 drop 1/0. When summoned, you can destroy one of your neutral mana on a minion card. If you do, draw 1 card. This minion enters the rest of the base. So the thing is, right, you'd want to be using a 1 drop as like a super early game play, and you can't summon this if you don't have red mana, which means turn 1 if you summon this you can't use the ability. So I think this is absolute garbage. I see no purpose for this. 2 drop 2/1 on your turn. For every other file that is on your field, this gets plus 300 BP. So if you can spam like 3 of these, this could be really, really threatening. Of course 3 of these would be all the copies of this, so unless you're able to create them through some other means, I don't see this being too good. If you've got 2 of them on the field, they're 5/1s, which is not bad, but there are much easier ways to get 5/1s using evoker generic minions and things, so I don't think this is too good. 3 drop 4/1 on your turn. Your red and neutral minions belonging to the dragon class all receive the charge effect. This is going to entirely depend on how good dragon class minions are, but this seems okay, fairly costed, seems decent. 3 cost on 1 duplicate of a red minion with a cost of 3 or lower enters the field. You do not get the when summon abilities, so obviously you can sort of see the synergy there with the fire lizard to make those big. So technically, if you copy a 3 drop, it's worth the cost, but also you don't get the on entries, which is usually like the best part of a lot of the good 3 drops. So not a fan of this. 3 drop, deal 300 BP to one of your opponent's minions. If that minion belongs to dragon class, then deal 600 BP instead. So this becomes a 1 drop if you're running the minus to the Chiron. That's it. And at 1, this is sick. At 3, this is a bit tough to swallow. It's still pretty good if you get it early, because you know that is super early game still, and it's likely to be relevant. And dealing 600 BP to a dragon class can be really good, but I don't know that there's that much like dragon running around, so I don't think this is that good. It's definitely not bad, but I think like you just run Buggy Bomb instead, because that will deal with 300 BP or lower. But this has the versatility of being able to combo with a block to destroy something, so it's not bad. 4-drop 5/2 charge when summoned, destroy one neutral mana that's not a minion card. So getting a 5/2 for 4 is certainly very good, that's for sure. Charge is also really quite nice, very, very, very threatening. However, losing a neutral mana, if you play this on curve, that sets you back really far. So this is like kind of best later on in the game when the mana's, you know, less useful, when you're really looking for those minions just to finish the game. And in that sense, it's pretty good. If you can shapeshift to this, you can't shapeshift to it, sorry, so that doesn't work. I think this is decent. I think I see its potential as a finishing card, especially if you drop like 2 of them. That could be pretty scary. But again, like destroying a neutral mana that's not a minion card, how much neutral mana will you typically have in a game that's not a minion card? Maybe 2, 3? You know, I don't know. I'm not too hot on this card. I'm not too hot on basically any of the red stuff in this set, really. Dwarven Warhammer unit, 5/1 with charge. When boosted, 1 token golem S enters your field. So for 6 mana, you get a 5/1 and a 1/1, effectively. Though the 5/1 will probably become like an 8/1 or something. If it was a 5/2, I think this is pretty good. It's a 5/1, so it's okay, but it's just, you know, it's just too expensive to be worth it, I think. 6-drop 7/3, garbage. 6-drop 6/2. When summoned, destroy one of your neutral mana. There's not a minion card. If you do, one of your opponent's minions cannot block during this turn. That can be very good. Against white, that could be very, very, very good, because white will typically use a boost that will, if they destroy a minion that's 3 cost or lower, it'll reactivate them. So this completely shuts off, and that will usually be their biggest defense. So you shut that off, you can just kill them. On your turn, whenever your mana decreases by methods other than by being replaced, place 1 red mana into the base until the rest state. This effect cannot stop. So that's really good. So it will, it'll actually replace the mana it destroys with a red one for your next turn, for your opponent turns up. I think this is pretty good. Being a 6-drop is a little hard to deal with, but I think against basically, like, I see its biggest potential against white. I think against white this is really nice. Against other stuff, this is pretty mediocre. So if this game had like a sideboard or something, this would see play in that. 8-drop. Wow. Destroy one of your neutral mana. There's not a minion card. If you do look at the top 3 cards of your deck, 1 red or neutral field minion card belonging to the dragon class and put it on the field. Put the rest of the battle in the deck in any order. This sucks. This sucks. 8-drop. No. No. Is it flash speed at least? No. 9-drop 9/3. When attacking, destroy one of your opponent's minions with 500 BP or lower. If you do, a token dragon enters your field. And on your turn, only minions belong to the dragon or dragon nuke class can block this minions' attacks. So I think actually, was there a token dragon that I missed? No. Okay, that might have been in the base set or something. It's pretty good. It shuts off blocking. So against some decks, like, that's kind of it. They can't deal with a 9/3. Decks that can deal with this would be blue and white very easily. Blue and white just laugh at this. This is a complete waste. But green as well, I think, can just rest it, I believe. I'm not sure if their rest is... I think their rest is flash speed, so they can just rest it, or they can drop 2 500 BPs on this. So this is only really good against red, and purple as well can just nuke it. So this is you know, on paper it's a pretty good card, but in context of the game, like in a vacuum it's good, but in the context of the game it's not very good at all. So like, it's way too easy to deal with. Okay, so generic boost. I'll boost yellow 4 cost or higher. Whenever another minion enters your field, this minion gains 200 BP for the duration of the turn. That could be quite scary. That could be quite scary quite quickly. And it does buff 1/1, and yellow is using a lot more full cost higher minions, so I think this is pretty decent. Probably wouldn't run it at high counts, maybe 1 or 2, but I think this is pretty good. We got a 1-drop. When someone select one of your minions to receive 100 BP, and this minion, this minion enters the rest deck when it moves to the base. Again, the best 1-drops you can play without needing the coloured mana, so oh, amazing. 2-drop, Flash, deal 200 BP to one of your opponent's minions. If you have summoned a minion this turn, deal 400 BP instead. That's pretty good. That's cheap. So early game, there's a lot of 200 BP minions. There's a lot of 300 BP minions as well, so, but a lot of 200 ones. And you're reasonably likely to use a swoop. And if you swoop, then you can do this on your opponent's turn for 400, which is quite a lot of stuff. So I think this is pretty decent. No. For the duration of the turn, you receive the following effect. Whenever one of your opponent's minions attacks you or your forces with a DP, that minion returns to their hand. I mean... it's pretty good. Seems pretty wild. Whenever one of your opponent's minions attacks you or your forces with DP, that minion returns to their hand. This just goes as no. Like, it just ends your turn. You can't attack. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy strong. 4-drop for 1. When summoned, you can search your deck for a field minion card belonging to the dragon class that is yellow and has a cost of 9 or higher. Reveal to your opponent, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. Interesting. So the Awaken legendary comes to mind. Interesting. This could become very good. At the moment, I think it's okay. I don't know that you want to be the issue. Like, you know, are games going long enough that you get like sufficient value out of this card? I don't know. Probably not. My hair. Just stop doing that. Need a haircut. Right. 4 cost 5/1. Whenever this minion is in the rest state and select for one of your effects, once per turn this minion returns to the active state. That's good. That's very good. That's very good. Because so I think it was in Beyond. There was the flash speed that gave 300 BP and 1 DP. So, you know, being able to just go, and this is back again, and it's not once per turn, and you can do it on your opponent's turn for more blocking. This is a good card. 4-drop for 1. When someone select one of your minions, you gain 200 BP, and the resurge effect for the duration of this turn synergizes with the legendary, but on its own, I think it's a little. I don't think it's really good enough to justify the deck space, but it's not bad. 5-drop for 2 with swoop. When boosted, this minion receives the following effect. When destroyed, this minion returns to your hand. You have better swoops for 5. 6-drop 5/2. When attacking, this minion will win in a battle against other minions regardless of BP. That's quite nice. When summoned, select one of your other minions to gain the following ability for the duration of this turn. This minion will win in battle against other minions regardless of BP. So this is kind of like just a game ender, where if your opponent is relying on like 1 or 2 just huge things, you just go no. Now, how good that is entirely dependent upon a format in which there are many such things. And at the moment, that doesn't seem to be this format. Or certainly, any decks that will make big things will make a lot of big things. Looking at you, Elf Green. So I don't think this is that good. This is good in a vacuum. I don't think this is that good in context. 6-drop. One of your minions gain 400 BP, 2 DP during his turn. This could just kill your opponent. If they just don't have anything, and it's on curve turn 6, and they just don't have blockers, they don't have interaction, you just win. The odds of that happening seem pretty low to me. Maybe like a cool 1 or 2 of, but yeah, unlikely to be that good. We got a dragon, 9-drop 9/3. When someone returns one of your opponent's minions to the top of their deck. Okay, so it just removes something. On your turn, only minions belong to the dragon. Dragon you cast blocks minions attack. So, whilst very strong, removes a minion. Again, half the decks in the game go Lamau, fuck off. So, Again, for 9, that's your turn. It's just not good enough. Keep doing that. Onto the purple. So, you know, generic stuff, good. Gives revenge on a 4-drop or high. That sucks. Like, where's the value on a high cost revenger, right? Like, it's valuable on low cost, so it de-incentivizes blocking, or it forces you to take a fat L when you block the big thing against it. 1-drop Mimiel, when destroy second, when your permanent receive 100 BP. Nice rest state. Again, use the purple, so no. 1-drop Perilous Chit Chat. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck, then return 1 minion with the cost of 3 left from your trash to your hand. I'm not a fan of this. I think it's too inconsistent, and late game it's... Late game is worthless because you're adding a 3 or lower. Risho the Wandering Bones. Revenge. When boosted, you receive the following effect for the duration of this turn. Whenever one of your opponent's minions is destroyed, draw a card. 2-drop 1/1. Well, that's pretty good, isn't it? Revenge on cheap minion. Immediately I like it. You can boost it. If you boost it with the generic one, it's a 4/1, so that's reasonably big. But then you get the boost effect when your opponent's minion is destroyed, draw a card. So if you're gonna, like, for example, like a very reasonable situation I see, because purple tends to drag the game on. You boost this, you play Ritter, you nuke your opponent's board, you draw like 7, you draw like 3 or 4, pass turn, you survive, and then you have a huge hand, just go just winning the game then and there. This is a great early game, even with only 1 draw. This is absolutely worth it. Yeah, it's a good card, really good card. And it's a skeleton as well, which synergizes with something from Evolve. So I'm kind of biased in that sense, but this is very good. 3-drop 1, 3/1. When someone destroys one of your other minions, if you do, his minion receives 2. No, I hate that card. I hate that. I don't want it. Also, this art makes me deeply uncomfortable. I don't like that. 3-drop. Deal 200 BP to one of your opponent's minions. If you do, all your minions receive 100 BP. That could be interesting, but I think it's a little bit too expensive, and you know, the time it's really useful is when you've built a big board, so 4-drop for 1. When summoned, you can return 1 purple or neutral field minion to a card belonging to the dragon class from trash to your hand. Worse than the yellow one, and the yellow one was barely good. 5-drop 7/2, the block. I mean, it's good for the cost. Only takes 1 purple as well, which is quite nice, but does nothing. It's a very passive card. Can be scary, but nah. 5-drop 5/2. On your opponent's turn, the revenge effect of your minions activated in your opponent's turn. Now, I like that a lot. I do like that a lot. For this to be scary, though, you'd need to have a lot of small minions with revenge. Your opponent can't deal with this immediately, and your opponent can't have any low cost board wipe. So you can see it's a very specific scenario in which this card's really good. So unfortunately it's not great, but it's so cool. I wish you revenge. Oh damn. That sucks. 6-drop 3/3 Gustav the Bellyful. This is a fucking meme card. When summoned, this minion receives 100 BP for each field minion card in both you and your opponent's trash. Interesting. I mean, this is probably coming in as like a 23 like late game, which is the hella fucking threatening. I wish it was I don't know. I think it's just big though. Like, it's again, like, it's susceptible to all the removal, all the good removal. So nah. 6 cost. You cannot use this card if you do not have a minion belonging to the demon class on your field. All your minions cannot attack for the duration of this turn. Interesting. Very interesting. So clearly amazing in the demon deck, but is the demon deck any good? No. Oh, and we got our generic bad dragon, Shadowborn, Lord of Annihilators. When someone destroyed one of your opponent's minions, discard the same number of cards on top of your deck as the cost of the minion destroyed by this ability. So again, just nuke something on your turn, blah blah blah. Same issues as the others, it sucks. Green, obviously good. Put one of your opponent's force in the rest state. Now this is actually a reasonably powerful ability. It synergizes with green because they have a lot of big things. I like this one. This one's pretty good. This is one of the better. Oh no, it's when boosted. Never mind. Sucks. 2 cost. Search your deck for a base minion belonging to Nymph and place it in your base in the rest state, then shuffle your deck. That's good because it just searches for a boosting one. Accelerates your mana. Good card. 3-drop 2/1. This minion can receive the boost effects while ignoring any required conditions. This could become very, very crazy. Will it? Time will tell. Fuck me. 3 cost 3/1. When paying for the mana cost of a green or neutral field minion belongs to this dragon class, this card can act as 2 green mana. In the deck it's good, but is the deck any good? Probably not, if the other dragons are anything to go off of. 3 cost, deal 500 BP to one of your opponent's minions in the rest state. This is really good, because obviously if your opponent, like, so you can't use this if your opponent doesn't attack with it, but if they attack with anything, this deletes like everything 5 cost and below pretty much, which is amazing value. 4 cost 5/1. Whenever you place mana belonging to the nymph cost from either your deck or hand to base, destroy one of your opponent's minions that's in the rest state. That could be pretty good, you know. That could be pretty damn good. Issue is, but it's just a matter of practicalities, right? You've got to get it out on the field. You've got to survive a turn because you're not really placing mana on your opponent's turn. It's got to survive a turn, or you've got to have like a lot of mana to use your acceleration effects. But your acceleration effects are like, if you're using them late game, you're kind of fucked anyway. So it's got to survive a turn for you to place a mana on your turn. It's got to remain on the field. Like you can't shove it in to your base because otherwise it does nothing. It kind of sucks, dude. 5 cost 4/2. Pierce, when boosted, gains charge and resurge. 5 cost, if you boost it, it could be like a 7/2 with Pierce, charge and resurge. You know, that could be pretty decent. Could be pretty decent. But probably isn't. 6-drop 6/2. This is an elf. When someone put all your mana belonging to the nymph class, it goes active, so that's scary. On your turn, whenever one of your minions that has gained a boost effect attacks your opponent, put one of your opponent's minions in the rest state. So this turns off blockers, and if you paid like 5 or 6 nymph mana, it just refunds itself. It's like free. It's pretty damn good if you ask me, and it's an elf, and elves are fucking cancer. Garbage. If you have a green minion that costs you 7 or higher on the field, the base cost hand becomes 0. Put all your minions in the rest state. And that's pretty good. Turns off blocking. The issue with the current big decks is they don't have great immunity. They all have pierce and stuff, but if you can just delete them, they just die, which obviously a lot of decks can do. Like basically anything that isn't red can do it. So yeah. When elf gain access to this, I don't want to deal with that for free anyway. On your turn, your opponent's minions enter the field in the rest state on your opponent's turn, and then on your turn, only minions belong to the. That's a 10/3. So this one's actually has value because 1, green will accelerate to 9 reasonably quickly, so this is going to be played earlier in the game. 2, this will like neuter every one of your opponent's turns until they deal with it. Dealing with it, whilst not difficult, will also neuter their turn. Unless, so basically if you just drop this, don't attack and pass, they don't have the flash timing, so they have to spend mana on their turn to deal with this, which means they can't play as many minions. And if they're not playing minions, they're not keeping up with the tempo, and you can probably just kill them. So I think this is definitely the best one I've read. Does that mean it's good enough to be used? I don't know. Probably not, but I don't know. Maybe. Another good booster, increasing movement by 1 when attacking. Again, now this one could be very cool. Could be very, very cool. If you have blue minion in your field, your movement increased by 1 for free. Interesting. So, is it worth losing the hand card for free movement? Absolutely, later on. This is not an early game card. This is a turn 6, turn 7, your turn 6, your turn 7 card that lets you go and just like bring out your whole fucking mana and bash your opponent's face in. I think this is pretty good. 1 cost. Look at the top. 1 cost 2/0. Look at the top card of your deck. You can return to it. You can either leave it there or put it at the bottom. Again, requires the blue. I just don't like it. No. On your turn, whenever a blue or neutral minion enters the belongs to Dragon Cards as your field, draw a card. So the play here is obviously drop this, shove it in. Next turn, bring it out. Play a dragon. Plus. It's pretty delayed. I feel like I'd rather just Pandaria. 3 cost. Deal 200 BP to one of your opponent's minions and minus 1 DP to that minion's original DP value. I don't know. If this is 1 cost, it's really good. But if you're running Kiron, other than Kiron, it's that good. 4 cost for 1. Based on retreating, move one of your opponent's minions with a cost of 5 or lower into their base in the rest state. So you drop it, you shove it in. Your opponent loses a blocker. Pretty decent, but I don't really think there's going to be space for it on curve. There's a lot of good stuff. It's 4, 6, and 1. Whenever you move one of your other blue minions' mana, they enter the active state. Okay, could get quite crazy. Could definitely get quite crazy. I haven't really seen it run in blue, so I imagine it's just a space issue. But this does seem pretty good. 5 cost 5/1. Infiltrate when boosted. Draw a card. Okay, it infiltrates, but it's also 1 damage, so who cares? 6 drop 6/2. When summoned, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Reveal a magic card to your opponent. Add them to your hand. This RNG could be garbage. Could be really, really good. For 6. I don't think it's worth it. If it was 4, then I think it would be worth it. But it's 3, so yeah. When summoned and at the start of your turn, on this turn, the next blue magic card you use will have a cost of 0. Only minions belong to the dragon. Okay, so getting access to blue spells for 0 is pretty crazy. The fact you get it every turn is also pretty crazy. You can just... yeah. That's pretty wild. You can deny flash timing, so there's a need to deal with this. So you'll at least get it there. I don't know. Again, like the green one, this is the blue and the green are definitely the best ones. Are they good? I have seen this being used, so I imagine this is like good enough to justify play. But it's it's just so iffy. Depending on the spell you use, though, obviously it can be completely crazy. And then we've got a 10 drop. 1 token fire dragon, 1 token water dragon, 1 token wind dragon, 1 token thunder dragon into the field. So clearly the intention here is boom, boom, huge board, good luck. And then obviously purple goes pandemic and you want to kill yourself. But that being said, you get a lot of attacks if you had this combo. But outside of this combo, it seems pretty... And this card on its own for 10 is probably worth it. You get a lot of big minions. I believe they're reasonably big. Decent, perhaps, but probably not worth the janky combo. And then white, it's obviously good. Whenever this minion wins a battle against another minion that costs 3 or lower, this minion returns to the active state. Fuck this card. Genuinely fuck this card so much. It's insane. It's insanely good. Like, because you chuck this on anything reasonably big, and so many decks struggle to deal with it. It's like so many. Especially if that thing's like a 5 cost, so minion effects can't deal with it either. It's just spells. A lot of decks will really struggle to deal with this. Now, a lot of decks will deal with it really, really easily. But if they can't, it just kind of wins you the game. And the fact that you can just chuck this on like anything is a bit wild. It's crazy good. Like the thing is, right? Like it turns pretty much anything that's a cost of like 3 or 4, like anything with a cost of like 4 or more, into like super threatening stuff, and you're like, what the fuck? Okay, cool. Guess I'll die.
You might want to check
Thanks for that, Google. Right. Skynet, chill. Okay. Eisenclock. Feature your force destroyed. This winning gains 2-1. I mean, no. 3 cost 3-1. On your opponent's turn, whenever one of your opponent's minions attacks your forces, minion receives 100 DP. For 3? Not a fan. Not a fan. Yeah. 3 cost 4-1. On your turn, whenever white neutral minions or dragon class wins a battle against another minion, do damage to your opponent's life. Again, like, it's pretty good if you drop it, keep it in mana, and then just bring it out later on in the game and your opponent's like, fuck. But also, like, just stuff will just get deleted. Moving shield, flash, change the target of your opponent's minions attacking. If you have no forces left, draw 1 card instead. Interesting. Because white has the ability to give life to their forces, this could be pretty good. However, it's also a bit shit. Like, it's like, in terms of utility and like when it's going to be used, you know, decks will either have already dealt with your forces or won't be touching your forces at all, and will have lots of tiny little pokes, or will have pokes that are so big that they don't really care what they hit. So you're effectively paying 3 to not die, but you also lose your forces. Your deck's not doing a huge. I don't know. I don't think this is that good. 4 cost 4-1. This minion cannot be selected as a target for your opponent's card effects, and whenever one of your white minions wins a battle against another minion, this minion receives one. Yeah, this is crazy good. Because if you can imagine this with the booster, play this, boost it with the. So now this is a 5-1. Whenever anything wins, it goes up by 1-1, and if your opponent attacks into it with something small, they'll just keep restanding and stacking. Even outside of that, this card can be so threatening on its own. Like, you just have to deal with it, because otherwise it'll go completely out of control. Yeah, it's good. And also, because you run Sphinx, then you can't target this with monster effects, so they have to just kill it with a spell. Yeah, pretty damn annoying. It's a great card. Garbage. Resurge. When boosted, this minion gains following ability. When attacking, your opponent must block. Can be scary if you really got to deal with a blocker to make way for something like for your killing like thing, but this would be a lot better on something a lot smaller. Although I can just clear a minion as well, so it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. 6-drop 6-2. When someone selects one of your opponent's minions, that minion will be put in the active state and must block during this turn. So yep, this can just deal with something. And on your turn, whenever this minion wins a battle against another minion, draw a card. So you're probably going to plus off it as well. Yeah, it's pretty good. Banish when you okay, so just kill anything ever. Yeah, this is good. 9 drops 10-3. When attacking, this minion deals damage. Banish all your opponent's lowest cost minions, and on your turn, only minions belong to the dragon. Blah blah. Again, so it has all the issues of every other one. Banish your opponent's lowest cost minions. Like, if they only have 1 drop, I don't care at all about that ability, and they're probably going to delete this anyway. I don't think it's very good. I'd rather have like the 9 drop tiger that just halves your opponent's life. It seems a bit better. And then we've got some generic ones here. So this one will boost anything 4 or higher, 2-1, but it's, you know, not very good. Grant research to anything, meh. Could be good. Research is a very strong effect. When placed, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Select one field minion belonging to the dragon class, reveal to your opponent, add to your hand. So this is clearly staple in a dragon deck, but I don't think dragon deck's very good at the moment. When summoned, if you have a minion that has received the boost effect, or if you have a minion with a boost effect in your base, draw a card. This is amazing in any boost deck. 2 cost 3-1. Increase the basic cost of the field minions belonging to the demigod class in your and your opponent's hand by 2. So if demigod ever becomes meta, this will be the instant counter to totally shut down those decks. 3 cost 1-0. When destroyed, 1 token dragon enters the field. Kind of sucks. 3 cost 1-0. Destroy your opponent's token minions. Obviously, in a token-based format, this will be really good. Until then, against red, this is already quite good. Against red, this is quite nice actually. You know, turning off the golem creation and stuff, or like, well, if they do anything with it and you just go block and they go fuck. Yeah, pretty decent. I can see this being like quite nice in purple, because you can use you can mud trap it to delete all your stuff. But anyway, 3 cost for 3/1 passive, reduce the basic cost of minions belonging to dragon class in your hand by 1. That's not a bad effect, but I mean this is probably quite staple in dragon based decks. 4 cost for 2, all your other minions belong to dragon class, which will BP, not very good. 4 cost for 1, on your opponent's turn, your forces can't be selected as targets for your opponent's card effects. This is quite nice against green, but not that nice, and certainly not, it's not as if they can't deal with it. 4 cost for 1, when attacking, whenever the minion deals damage, restore your life points by the amount of damage dealt. 4 cost 5/1, on your turn, all mana with the boost effect on your base can grant effects even if they are in the rest state. I like that, but I wish this was on a smaller minion, because if you could just, for real cheap, like make that happen, that's pretty good. Because you effectively get a minion for free. Like if it was like on a 1 cost minion or something, you just play it, get the effect, boost something with the mana you just paid. You just got a little free thing. That's cool. But on a 4 cost 5/1, or if this was like 3 cost, then we're talking. 5 cost 4/2 with revenge. 5 cost 5/1, when summoned, banish one of your opponent's minions that has a when destroyed effect. I mean, damn, where were we? Yeah, could be good, don't get me wrong. Like, in a format with a huge amount of when destroyed effects, this will be good, but until then, destroy all your opponent's minions with a cost of 8 or higher. So this just goes like, when your opponent plays a dragon, you go, okay, well, mistaken, it's gone. If you got a way to bring it out counter speed as well, that's pretty good. So yeah, against like decks that summon a huge amount of very big things, this is pretty strong, but also these big things are probably going to attack and kill you, so I don't know. It's okay. Restore 1 life point or a force point when summoned. 6 drop 5 to the charge. 6 drop 5/1, swoop. When summoned, put one of your opponent's minions with 400 BP or lower in the rest state. This is pretty decent. I mean, it's really overcosted, but it's not bad. It gives you something to spend your mana on, and you can spend it as long as you have 6 of anything, so it's okay. 6 drop 3/1, infiltrate. If you have no other minions on the field, this minion cannot be selected as a target for your opponent's effects, but it's a 3/1. Unless you buff this up. So if you can buff this up like to infinity, so you play it, shove it into base, survive a turn. Or I suppose if you play this and you have nothing else, chill with it, buff it up to like infinity and back, and then just go whoom whoom. Could be really good. Definitely would be really good, as long as your opponent doesn't have a 6 drop to counter it with. So I could see like a cool kind of deck based around that could work. 7 drop 10/3, no. 7 drop 4/2, when summoned, this minion gains 300 BP for the duration of this turn, and when attacking, puts minion to attack state once per turn. For 7 though, but it's 7/2, but for 7 though, 8 drop 7/1, 10 drop 10/2, swoop, all your colour mana enters the active state. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. I'm a fan of this, honestly. I don't think it's very good, but I'm a fan of it. If the format ever shifted to as late as fuck, you can just drop your 10/2, get all your mana back, play all your shit, and it goes onto your turn and you're like, haha, fuck you, I got a free 10/2 and I still got to do all my stuff. So yeah, okay, that is Contract. I think it's a really cool set, for sure. Lots of very cool stuff in here. Definitely, it's still the worst set in my opinion, but it introduces some of the most important mechanics in the current metagame. So, it is what it is. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Add me and Zenonzard, my friend comes there. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Share if you're so inclined. And I hope you enjoyed these. Series should be done within the next week. Should have all of these out. Hopefully, I'm trying to keep up with daily uploads for as long as possible, so should be good on that. Definitely want to get them all out before Forbidden, so I'm looking forward to doing a set review for Forbidden. So yeah, okay, I will see you guys next time. Cheers.